Hi, this is Jeannie and Carrie from Trendy Tree. Today we're going to make a witch hat with legs. These are some Raz witch legs. They're wired, and we're going to attach those when we get ready for them. And we have some wide foil purple mesh and some wide foil.
We've got more.
We've got more. Wide foil orange mesh and a couple of ribbons. But we have this new witch form. This just came in, and it's a form that Craig Botman designed based on us asking him to.
He did.
So if you have any ideas for any kind of forms or anything like that, be sure and let us know, because he's very receptive to creating things for us. The witch hat is flat. It's not a raised wreath form like the wreath forms, and it has, of course, a twist on it. This is a black one. Now, we're gonna put these products in a kit for you, and if you buy one of the kits, it'll have a purple frame, but I've used this more than once, so I'm going to use it again. It has a center brace, which is good, especially if you need to add any twist. And one thing that I did do, I went ahead and added 4 twists. I put one, of course these are going to slip and slide until I get my mesh attached, but I add one at each corner and one, the center bar, in between the center bar and the next frame. So the first thing we're going to do, all these products come from Trendy Tree, and we'll have some kits. I don't know how many, but we'll have some kits. But we're going to start with the purple wide foil. This is 10 inches in width, 10 yards in length. And the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of gather it up, and we're going to attach it at the top of the wreath form. Now, these twists that we're not going to use, you can just tuck those to the inside. And if you were gonna, if you don't have any chenille stems and you were not going to use this wreath form for anything else, you could snip these off and use them in place of the chenille stems like I used. But we'll remake things, so I didn't cut any of these off. But I'm just going to attach that to the top, and that's going to be my starting point. Twist that a couple of times, and then I'm just going to kind of fold, kind of grasp that mesh and just kind of hold on to it and smooth it down. I'm not going to pull it real tight, but I'm going to come down here to this very first twist in the middle and attach it there. I'm sorry, there's not much to do
Not much for
right
me
now.
to do. I'll just stand here and watch.
fan me.
I'm not fanning you. I ate Doritos. How you like that?
It's hot.
I had some
It's hot.
spicy Doritos a while ago.
So
Is that
just
nice?
kind of snug, but not too tight, not too loose.
Just
and then
perfect.
just take the mesh, and I'm going to go back up to the top again. I'm just going to kind of get my hands on it, kind of smooth it down a little bit, going back up, and I'm going to attach it back in that same twist at the top. I'm just going to undo it.
I think you could do this with flex tubing.
Oh,
I mean, not. I wonder if it would be stiff enough, or if it would pull too tight and get too skinny.
oh, I don't know. But I'm just
I'm
going
not gonna
to
try it. I just wonder.
and secure that back. I'll let it loose a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to come back down Now this time I'm going to come back down and attach in that chenille stem that I added. And I wanted that chenille stem to kind of be between those two bars. And of course, like I say, it's going to slip and slide, but that's all right. Once I get all my mesh attached, it won't matter. So I'm just going to take my mesh, just drop it in the floor, I guess, and just smooth it down or hold it like that. There you go.
Be the mesh holder.
Be the mesh holder. Hold the mesh. Be the mesh. You're a good mesh holder.
A good mesh holder.
I tried to cover my arm. And just use that chenille stem to secure that. And then I'm going to go back up one more time. Just kind of smooth that up. Let's see. Go back up to the top. Hold that right there.
This?
That.
This.
And I'm going to open my twist. You have to kind of be careful this is all to pop out. Close that back. And then I'm going to go back down one more time and I'm going to attach this corner piece where I added the chenille stem right on the corner. And you may want to experiment, you know, with doing the top like this. If you haven't worked with mesh very much, you might want to take, if you've got a scrap roll of something, you might want to just experiment with it. Okay, now you'll see I've got some gaps right in here, but that won't show because we're going to come back in a minute and we're going to use these same chenille stems across here and we're going to add in some ruffles. So now I'm going to go back up to the top. And then come down on the opposite side. So hold that. I'm going to reopen my twist at the top. Make sure everything stays in place. And if you're ever in doubt that your top bundle is not staying in place, don't untwist it. Just lay the mesh down with the twist that you have and go from there. So now I'm going to come back down on this other side and finish it. So I've got my twist that I attached in the middle, and then one in the mid bar, and then one on the edge. So now I need to come down and attach one in the
gold one,
my chenille stem, and we didn't have any purple chenille stems, but
we're out of chenille
that's
stems.
okay, yeah, because this way maybe they can see it. And like I say, they will slip and slide, but that's okay because once you get all that mesh in there, it doesn't have anywhere to go.
Ain't got nothing to do.
Okay, and then I'm going to come back to the top. Keep those tips out. Come back to the top again. And since my bundle is getting quite big at the top, I'm not going to untwist. I'm just going to keep the twist where it's at and secure around that.
Because the only thing else you're going to put up there is like a bow.
Right. It looks kind of lumpy and all up here right now, but we're going to cover that up with a bow. So now I'm ready to come back down and do my last attachment. So it's going to come back down, and I'm going to go to my chenille stem in the corner that I added. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the top. And this will be the last one. So let me smooth that out. So I'm going to attach this one and then I'll be ready to cut my mesh loose.
And why didn't you use this one?
It would have worked.
For the ruffles at the
Yeah,
bottom?
it would have worked. And then I'm just going to cut my mesh free. Okay, so I should have enough left. Now we've got our top part covered. And like I say, you can see some gaps there. So we just kind of smooth that mesh out to where it covers up well. So that's the top part of the hat. Now we're going to make some ruffles to go across the bottom. And we're going to start with the purple. Now we should have about four yards left, I think. So what I'm going to do, we have 10 places to attach ruffles. So if my math was right, and it may not have been, I'm going to cut these ruffles 15 inches. Even that edge up for me there.
So that's probably what's going to cause us to be off.
It may not, we need 10. It may not work out exactly right, but it will never show if it doesn't. That's one. If you had some scrap mesh, this would be a good place to use it too. Nine. Okay, well the 10th one is not going to be 15 inches, but it won't show.
It might be pretty close because it has a little fold over. Let's use it first and get it done.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Spread it out there. See how close I was. By
An
golly,
inch short.
it's about
And I told you.
yeah, we evened it up. So we're going to take the orange mesh and we're going to need 10 pieces for ruffles. So we're going to cut the pieces in 20-inch lengths. Draw back in digits.
That's what I'm saying. That's forceful. That's a little rough.
I'm mad
Gentle.
at your dad.
It's not funny.
I'm mad at your dad.
About what now?
Okay, how many?
Y'all please don't get a divorce.
It's late in the game. We get this house built. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
3 more.
Well, I had to cave on the brick color, so
Again, oh,
I figure I'll get the floor cover and I won't.
you did.
It's a trade-off. Okay. And you may come out a little short. If you do, you know, it won't show, or you can back up and only make your these ruffles 12 inches. Because it depends on how snug you pull this mesh too. Alright, so now we have orange ruffles too. We cut our orange ruffles 20 inches in length. So we have them. So let's get this mat out of the way. Sorry.
Just tacky.
So we want our ribbon to really stand out. So we're going to do a purple ruffle on the bottom and an orange on the top. And then that way I think our ribbon will stand out more. And we're going to put a ruffle, a cluster of the 2 ruffles in each twist. Maggie, come on in, Maggie.
Maggie. Baby, that's... Oh. Hey, Moo!
I know. Come on, Maggie, say hello.
Come say
Come
hey.
on. Come on in. Maggie.
I thought Jeannie
granddaughter.
had a stroke.
Maggie's got a game tonight.
Hey,
There she is. Come by to see us after school. Say hello to
money,
the
don't you?
folks. Okay.
Let me go get her some money.
All right, she's here for money. I knew those. Those are good reasons. So, to make your ruffle, just let your mesh just roll up naturally, and kind of spread it out then. And take, you want to scrunch up right through the middle. Your selvage edges should be to the outside. And we'll just scrunch right up through the middle. And make a little, that's okay, come on through here. just make a little bow tie type ruffle and just open and twist. Usually I would do 2 ruffles at the same time. Since Carrie's tied up right now, I'm just going to do it like this. And I'm going to put a ruffle in each twist across the bottom of the wreath, bottom of the hat, using the twists that are on the wreath form and the chenille stems that I added in. Now all mesh ravels, you'll have some raveling. You will have to clip at the end. You just will have some strings that just can't be avoided. Well, I started with the purple, so I just might as well go ahead and finish all the purple, and then we'll go back on top of it with the orange. Now, I'm not undoing, typically, you know, when we add ruffles, I'll say, you know, take the twist apart, but since these twists are kind of holding this mesh in an unusual way, I'm not going to take those twists apart. I don't want to risk it coming loose. So I'm just going to lay that ruffle down on top of the chenille stem or the twist, and then just twist again.
I sneezed or something.
Okay.
It's okay. Maybe it's past.
Alright, and I need, on this corner, I'm going to add another chenille stem right there on that corner.
Skeeter.
Mosquito.
Why have I got this over here?
You can set it in the floor. All we're going to need is zip ties for those legs.
What color zip tie?
It doesn't matter. Now on the form where I had added the chenille stem to attach the looping that went up and down, instead of putting a ruffle in that chenille stem that I added the chenille stem right on the end. And I need to do that same thing over here on this corner, because I want my ruffle to extend out a little more than the bottom of the hat. So I'm just going to add a chenille stem right there and put that last ruffle. I think that was like 10 ruffles, wasn't it?
It's 10. Perfect 10.
Perfect 10. Alright.
So
that's
now am I
10.
making ruffles with this?
Right, now we're going to just
Or
go
do you
back.
want to do curls?
Well,
No, it's too
it's
much.
20 inches.
It's 20.
We've already cut it 20 inches, so that's where we're at right now. Alright, so we're going to add a 20-inch ruffle. And now this time I will undo the twist because I'm just adding a ruffle on top of a ruffle.
Ruffle?
So I'm going to undo my twist. I know you can't see that right there. Undo the twist, lay the ruffle down on top. The ruffles are a little bulky, so it's a little bit harder to stay in the center. But you do have less raveling. You'd have less raveling with this than doing 2 10-inch ruffles. Now these gold chenille stems that I've added, when we get done, we can tuck those to the inside. If you don't want them to show, of course they're gold, I don't want them to show. So I would tuck those to the inside. But now, my black ties that are on the witch hat form, I wouldn't worry with that. Now you can make this out of a lot of different colors of mesh. looking. Okay. I love Halloween. But I'm ready for cooler weather. I want
Me
it to
too.
be.
I think it's supposed to cool off some next week.
It's so hot, the kids can't go trick-or-treating in their suits. Well, I mean, you don't have any kids. We don't have any little trick-or-treaters anymore.
No. Everybody's big. I'm gonna trick or treat.
We got yard rollers now.
Yeah, we do.
That's all right. I can take yard rolling, but now I don't want soap and I don't want shampoo. Oh,
Eggs.
Eggs. My gosh. Yours won't do that, I hope.
Not that I know of, they won't.
They won't do it but one time.
Right.
Okay. How's that looking? How's that? Rachel's back there. Rachel.
Cute, cute, cute. Love it.
Alright. So, next we're going to do some ribbon strips.
This could be a skirt.
It could be. I got tights that would match that.
Oh, yeah. That'd be nice.
We took our spider ribbon and the purple metallic ribbon and cut 12-inch lengths. Now, we've already cut that, so it's always good to do a test strip before you cut up your ribbon, and I did that with some scrap ribbon. So 12-inch works okay. And since we're not using a lot of ribbon and we don't have a lot of places to put ribbon, we're going to kind of double do it. So Carrie's going to take the lime and put a purple on top of it and make a second cluster the same way.
Ooh.
So I got the right and the wrong side.
I just meant you kind of got a little scissor happy on that one.
I cut it a little short and then just kind of make your cluster kind of fan out like that. And then, of course, I have to take this down to work on it. So now I'm going to open up the twist and put the ribbon cluster down and then secure the twist back. And like I say, on the places where I have used the gold chenille stem, now that that's the last thing that, like that one, that I'm going to use, I'm going to tuck that chenille stem to the inside so it won't show. And then just kind of, this is big.
It is quite large.
Kind of fluff out the ribbons. Wadded that one up, didn't I? Like that. So we're going to put a cluster of ribbon in each twist. I think there was 10 around our bottom. Okay, there's our hat after we did all of our ribbon clusters. And remember, I told you that if you had any gaps right in here, it would cover it up once you get your ruffles on here. Now we're going to have to clip some strings. Of course, you're going to do that with, with all mesh. But it does help if you clip instead of pulling. Sometimes if you pull, you get a never-ending ravel. So clip your strings and fluff your ribbons, and you may have to fluff your ribbons a time or two before you get through because we'll have to handle it to attach the legs. And we're going to attach the legs using some zip ties. Just go ahead and cut those apart. They have a little thing on them to kind of hold them together for shipping. And there, you can bend them, you can shape them, but for right now, the first thing I'm going to do is zip tie them together first because that kind of helps keep them in place. And I'm just going to put a zip tie around that and wire cutters. Just snip that off. And then we're going to take a zip tie and go up under them like that and attach them to the frame on the back.
Flip it over?
Yeah. Well, hold it up. I don't want
You mean
to
hold it?
squash my ribbons. And you may have to hang it on the wall to see sort of where you want your legs to hang. That's probably too low. They probably need to attach right there. You just have to kind of experiment with where you want to attach them, and you can do that with a chenille stem if you want to do that before you use a zip tie. Sorry.
Ooh, hold on, I got wispies.
Okay. Alright, so there you have the leg. Right. And you can bend the legs. They could come
Can you
down
bend
the-
them?
Huh?
Can you bend them?
You can bend them. Don't be crude. Hold it up. Do they need to come down? I think they could come down a little farther. See, I should have done that before putting my zip tie on there. Throw me a chenille stand. We'll stick them down. We'll make them hang down a little bit more. Yeah, it'd be better once you get your placement, then go back and put you something more permanent. That'd be better right there. That's more better. Okay. And we're not going to bend these because these will go in a kit, and we'll just let you shape them the way that you want to shape them. So we won't bend them for the tutorial. The next thing we're going to do is just make a bow to put at the top. And we should have about 4 yards left of the ribbon. I'm going to try to do a Rachel ribbon. So I think there's about 4 yards left. I don't know that I'll use it all, but I'm just going to take both ribbons and put the purple on top. And I'll need a piece of floral wire,
I
please.
can do that.
And wrap it like you wrap Rachel's.
How do I wrap it?
That wire, that straight
Oh,
wire.
Lord, Rachel and her ideas.
With some, so I'm going to start with a tail of about, let's see, I can't tell, about 12 inches. I'm going to leave a tail about 12 inches, and I'm going to pinch it, and I'm going to make a loop of about 6 inches. Inches? I need my little measurer. Sorry. See, Rachel can just eyeball that. Not that one. I want my little one. Thank you. That's my paint stick. Lowe's paint stick. Put some markings on it. It's just right for this. So, because I want to keep my loops the same size. So, and I'm going to twist my ribbon. Bring up my right side. Now, she doesn't do that. She just makes all those loops.
Yeah. But now, she's also been in the...
Okay.
You want her to come make you a bow?
I want to do this. I want to do this. So I'm just going to keep making loops, about 6-inch loops. And I'm twisting my ribbon. I'm afraid I won't ever get my ribbons to come up right. I'm going to keep my loops about 6 inches. So I've got 2 loops on each side. I'm going to go ahead and try to make 3 loops on each side. And Carrie's just wrapping that wire in floral tape. That's something that you can get at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, and so forth. But it just does make the wire hold better. Okay, so now I've got 3 loops on each side, so I'm going to come down and cut my tails off about 12 inches. And I can always even up my tails when I'm done. I'm ready for my wire.
Well, I'm wrapping. It's been a minute. I'm having...
You can use a chenille stem too. But we're going to put this at the top of the little witch's hat.
Oh, golly.
That's good enough.
No, I'm getting it all the way to the end. Four hours later. Woo! Don't, Mama. Look,
Okay.
you know I'm not good at this stuff.
It'll work. Just put your wire around the center where you're
Don't show
holding
Rachel.
it pinch. Give it a couple of turns. And then I got this good sticky wire to use to attach it to the wreath. And then just kind of fluff out your bows. I'm gonna learn how to make bows yet. You can kind of separate those or okay. Alright, so then I'm gonna take the wire from my bow and I'm just gonna attach it to the top of the wreath.
Let me hold it so you can, because its legs are long. Sorry. Let me turn it towards you.
That's good. And I'm going to attach the bow to the wreath frame. So I'm just going to run that wire through there. And, you know, I probably could take the remainder of that wire to make the hanger. I've got enough ends back here. If not, you can always use a chenille stem, a zip tie, or a floor wire to make a hanger. But I think I can wrap my ends around enough to where I can make a hanger. Okay? Alright. So then just fluff out your ribbon. Of course, all this ribbon is wired. And fluff that out, and fluff out all your ribbons here. Clip your strings. It measures from the right there to the, it's about 30 inches, not counting the legs. And like I say, you can, my legs are twisting and turning right now because I don't have them secured permanently. But you may want to secure the legs in a couple of places when you're done to keep them, you know, centered. And once you secure them well, then you can shape them. See, mine won't.
Just floppy.
They're floppy legs.
Just floppy legs.
But you just use more zip ties on the back. There's plenty of places on the back that you, like right here, you could add in 2 more zip ties and that will keep your legs in place. It's about 30 inches, not counting the legs. And we'll have this in a supply kit.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, these instructions can be followed, you know, with using a lot of different kinds of mesh and even other legs. We have other legs in stock too. All right, that's it. Thanks for dropping in. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next video coming out. And
watch our Facebook page.
Oh,
'cause
yes,
as soon as I
Facebook.
get internet, we're going to do some lives.
We're going to be doing some live on Facebook. And we have a couple more Halloween things to do for you.
Gotta get 'em out.
And then we're going to start with some Christmas. Okay?
Thank
See you next time.
The camera seems way far away. Which is fine. I can see us. I just can't see the
Table is good.
well, I can't see the screen.
How's that?
I can see the number, the
The movie.
things bouncing.
You see it now? Okay. All right, we're going to take the
Well, you didn't say hey.
This is going to be stuck in the middle.